Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So as you can probably tell, today is not a vlog video. It is going to be a little bit of a sit down and chat. I want to tell you guys a story and a moral of a story. I promise it has a moral. But I don't really sit down and do like story time videos. I've actually never filmed a story time video in my life, but I feel really compelled to share this with you guys. It's really fresh and new in my head and in my life. It happened yesterday. And so, but it's been kind of happening over the course of the last couple years. So this is a little bit of like my nightmare come to life. And yeah, but there's something good that comes out of it. So just stick around for a few minutes here. Before I get into the story, I want to let you know something super exciting. So you guys know that I do custom personal training through 3S Fitness, my company, for people for $59 a month. You can get a custom training program, macro coaching from me. You get everything, access to the sisterhood, access to me. So much for that price. But one of the things that I've been working on is how to offer group classes, because I love going to classes and I love doing different kinds of workouts and I like doing them live. And so I've decided to offer group classes now. We literally just launched this today. We're really pumped up about it. We have 3 different package options. So there's a weekly pass, a monthly pass, and then an 8-week pass. And it's all on our website, so you can go check it out. But basically how it's going to be run is through a Facebook group. So you do need a Facebook account, but if you don't have one and you want to join, you can use a pseudonym. So just create one with a fake name if you want to do that. But I'm going to be hosting a live workout every single Wednesday for everybody who's a member of the group class package. And they will be able to do that workout live with me or anytime that day. So you don't have to run on studio schedules. It can be run on your own time in the privacy of your home. You don't have to go to a gym to do it. You don't have to travel. You can do it all at home. And it's going to be a group class every Wednesday. Now, I may decide to do a group class on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You never know. You're guaranteed one class, and then you might get more. So it just depends on the week. I think it's going to be really cool and a whole lot of fun. And I think you're going to like it. You get to do it with all your friends, and you'll have the support of the rest of the group and the girls in the class all the time. And then we'll do a live class once, twice, 3 times a week together. It's going to be really, really fun. You'll get to see me sweat, see how human I am with all my workouts. I literally did a live arm workout this morning for my 3S Fitness members to give them a little bit of a sneak peek. And I can't lift my arms. Like, they hurt so bad. The selfie stick is resting on my knee because I literally can't hold it in the air. But it's going to be really fun, and it's going to be something totally different that I think you guys are really going to like. It's cheaper than what we currently offer for individual plans. So if you've always wanted to try 3S Fitness, but you want to kind of see what we're all about, this would be a great way to try it. You're going to get to see a sense of the workouts that I like to create for my clients, what I like to do, but obviously they'll be custom if you sign up for an individual package. Also, if you sign up for an individual package, there is now an option when you're checking out to add on the group classes for $15 a month. So if you want to sign up to be a member and the group class, that's great. It'll be an option for $15 a month to add it on there. If you just want to try the group classes, click below, go check out our 3 different passes, and you can always email me if you have any questions at strengthsweatsoul@gmail.com. I'm really excited. I hope that you guys sign up. I can't wait to work out with you guys live every week. Another thing that I forgot to mention was every Thursday, so the workouts will be on Wednesday. Thursday, I'm going to host a live Q&A in the morning. It might be 30 minutes, it might be an hour, it might be 2 hours. It just depends on how many questions you guys have. I'll hang out to answer any health and fitness related questions that you might have, and we can just chill and get to know each other, and I think it's going to be really fun. It's a way for you to get to know me better, get to know my workout style, see my energy when I'm training people, and a way for me to interact with you guys live, which I love. That's what I felt like has been missing from what I do. And so I think it's a really cool new component, and I think you guys are going to enjoy it. And I'm hoping that you all join so that we can have some fun together every week live in Facebook. All right, peeps, so let's get into this story. Basically, 2 years ago, when I first moved to Minnesota, you have to like find new doctors and new dentists and whatnot. So I found a dentist, and I liked him at first, but one of the first times I ever saw him, he wanted to crown 2 of my back molars. Now, I have been told that I either grind my teeth or clench my teeth at night because the back of my teeth are like worn down a lot. But nobody's ever heard me grind my teeth. Like, Tim's never heard me grind my teeth. Like, I never wake up with a sore jaw or anything like that. So I wasn't quite sure. So I went to my dentist at home in West Virginia and I got a second opinion. And he recommended that I crown them as well, just to prevent my teeth from fracturing, because there definitely was some like wear and tear back there. So we decided to crown my teeth. Now, if you've ever had a crown, you might know that it's a bit of a process. So basically what they do is they take your tooth and they numb you, just like they're going to fill a cavity. But they told me that crowns were actually easier than cavities. That's what this dentist told me, at least. And so what they do is they shave down your tooth to make it smaller. It's not like real tiny, but it's tinier so that they can fit a cap on it. So they shave it down and then they prep it so that, you know, there's no like air or any like decay or anything in there. It's all clean. And then they make what they call a temporary crown. Usually they make that in the dentist's office, or my dentist did at least. They made it in the office. They put it on your tooth. The whole process takes about an hour to an hour and a half. And then you leave. And you come back 2 weeks later, because it takes 2 full weeks to make a permanent crown if they don't mill them in the office. Some dentists mill them in their office. Some send them away to a lab. My dentist sent my first one away to the lab. And you can probably do 2 crowns at one time. One of mine is on my right side and one is on my left. So to prevent me from having my whole face being numb, we decided to do 1 crown at a time. So we did my right one first. It went so great. I got my temporary crown, left. 2 weeks later, got my permanent crown. It's been great ever since. Then we went to do this tooth. Now, we started this process about 1.5 years ago, and we shaved down the tooth. We capped it with a temporary crown. I came back in for my permanent crown, and my tooth was still pretty sensitive. So what he did was temporarily cement the permanent crown. That's what he was supposed to do. So I left, and after a couple weeks, because you can have sensitivity with crowns, just like you can with cavities, because they're doing so much work on that tooth and it experiences some trauma, and they're shaving it down, you can have some sensitivity. So it eventually went away. About 2 weeks after I got my permanent crown, temporarily cemented, the sensitivity went away. So fast forward to a long time later, because I waited about 6 months before we're going to permanently cement this crown. So they put it on last fall. And in February, I went back in to get my crown permanently cemented. I said that in air quotes because you'll find out why in a second. So I went in to the dentist. Now, my dentist's name I'm not going to disclose, but I went in for my appointment, and my dentist wasn't there. It was a fill-in dentist that I didn't know was there. They didn't tell me when I was making my appointment. And so I went in and I said, I'm here to get my crown permanently cemented. And he tried to take it off, and my crown wouldn't come off. And he was using like quite a bit of force, but it wasn't hurting or anything. He tried to take it off, it wouldn't come off. And he said, you know what, it's on here really good. It hasn't moved at all. Like, if you're not having any discomfort, like, let's just leave it the way it is. And I was like, okay. And he said, how has your bite been? And I said, perfect. And he was like, well, let me take a look. Took a look, decided without telling me to adjust my bite in my back tooth where that crown was, so to shave off some of that crown, and I left. Well, that weekend was Valentine's Day weekend, and I was up in Grand Marais, in like kind of close to Duluth in Minnesota, for a weekend away with some of our friends, and we were staying in a cabin. And I was in the worst excruciating pain of my life in terms of my tooth and my jaw. My whole face swelled up this side, and it was awful. I couldn't bear it. I was taking ibuprofen and trying to get rid of it, but it was a miserable 3 days. And I got home, and I called my dentist on Monday morning right when I got home, and I said, something's going on. I don't know what's going on. So my dentist was back in town by this point, and I went back in, and he saw it, and he said that my bite had been adjusted, and now my bite was off. And so he adjusted it again, and he said, your tooth's experienced a lot of trauma, so let's leave it. We're not going to take the crown off and cement it. We're just going to leave it for right now and see if you go pain-free. Well, my crown definitely felt better, but my tooth since February had been insanely sensitive to cold. And at first, it was so sensitive to hot and cold, I could barely eat or drink. It was absolutely miserable. I was in so much pain. And then it kind of started to diminish, and the hot sensitivity went away, but the cold sensitivity always stayed. So from February until Monday, my tooth has been really sensitive to cold. Finally, I called my dentist, and I had seen my dentist multiple times since then, but he wanted to keep waiting it out, and he didn't want to touch the tooth while it was really sensitive. So anyway, this is a very long story. I hope the build-up is worth it for you guys. So anyway, I go into my dentist on Monday morning, and at this point I'm like a little frustrated. It's been almost 2 full years that we've been dealing with these crowns, and I go to my dentist, I felt like every month for something in relation to this crown, and I was just really getting tired of it, and I wanted to feel better, and I wanted to be pain-free. And I went back in, and he said, we need to start over. Like, we need a new crown. This crown just hasn't been done right since that guy adjusted my tooth. So we're going to start over. We're going to make you a new crown. Scheduled me for 10:30 a.m. yesterday, Tuesday. And he scheduled me for a half an hour appointment. Now, I've had my crown taken off and permanently cemented with another crown before, and they now make their crowns in-house. So they mill them there. They don't have to send them to a lab. So I thought they had already had my crown made. Like, I thought they were making it on Monday, and I was going to come in, and it was going to be ready on Tuesday. Anyway, because they scheduled me for 30 minutes. So I wander in on Tuesday, and I should preface this, which I should have done at the very beginning, but there is nothing I hate more than the dentist. I despise the dentist. Not like the person, just like dentistry. I don't like it. The dentist stresses me out more than anything in the entire world. I have had full-blown panic attacks at the dentist. I don't like it. As a kid, I had a really terrible dentist, a really, really bad experience that kind of has set the tone for this throughout my life, I guess you could say. But I can't stand it. I mean, if I know I have a dentist appointment, the week before, I'm just panicking. It's all I can think about. I'll have dreams that my teeth fall out. I'll have dreams that, like, the dentist pulls my tooth out. Like, it's really bad. Like, I'm working on it, but it's bad. Like, and I know, my dentist always tells me that a lot of people get dental anxiety. But I feel like mine's to another level. I never let them do the nitrous on me. I never take any kind of anxiety medication. I don't like medication like that. But I get crazy anxiety. My heart beats real fast. I like can't breathe. It's like really crazy. I just really don't like it. So anyway, I wander in for what I think is this routine procedure on Tuesday to get my new crown. And my dentist is there, and they know me so well at this place, and they love me, I think. I'm really friendly and bubbly when I go in there, and I pretend like I hide all my anxiety by, laughing and being silly and whatnot, making jokes. But inside, I'm like freaking out, and my hands start shaking like the minute I walk in. And I'm sitting in the dental chair, and he basically, he gets me all numb. And which is fine. Like, I'm not scared of needles at all. I really don't like the feeling of being numbed, but I'm not scared of needles at all. So like the needles don't bug me. Pain doesn't bug me like that. So he gets me all numb, and I'm laying there, and then he tries to take the crown off, and it won't come off. And he is, he's tries a few times, and then he says I'm gonna have to split it. So he's gonna have to cut it open. So I'm fully numb, and he's already started working on my mouth, and now it's like 11:30, so I'm already been there for an hour, and then he leaves me for like 20 minutes in the chair with like cotton and random crap in my mouth. There's no dental assistant there or hygienist. My dentist isn't there, and I'm completely alone, numb in this chair in a place where I feel intense anxiety, and I'm trying not to freak out, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm texting my friends, and I'm texting Tim, and I'm like, please help me. Like, I need somebody to tell me a story, something good, because I'm laying back in this chair with my mouth full of crap, and I don't know what's going on. Like, they didn't tell me anything. Anyway, 20 minutes later, he comes back and proceeds to split the crown. And I'm in intense pain. Like, it is real bad. I'm like, because I have a pretty high pain tolerance, I think, generally. And so he starts numbing me again. So he pokes me with the needle 3 more times, and that's fine. It only hurts a little bit. And again, I don't really care that much about the pain from the needle, but I don't like being poked that many times because you know that you can be bruised, kind of, or your gums can get bruised and really sensitive from when you're numbed from the needles. Anyway, pokes me a lot of times, starts splitting the tooth again, have really bad pain again. So he sticks me with the needle literally 3 to 4 more times. It was a lot. Like, he just started numbing my tooth in all different kinds of places, and I just was like, I don't know what he's doing. He wouldn't talk to me. I didn't really know anything that was going on. And then he takes the thing and he starts splitting the crown. And at this point, I can't feel anything. Like, my whole, I'm numb just everywhere. And so he's splitting it, and it comes off. He gets the crown off. And in the middle of him taking the crown off, he says, did I do this prep? Like, the prep for the tooth. And the dental assistant's like, yeah, you did the prep. And he's really quiet for a while, and then he's like, yeah, I know my preps. I was like, no, I feel like you don't like the way that the tooth looks, and that's why you asked that. And he's not talking to me, he's talking to her, but he's thinking out loud. And then he talks about how my crown was already permanently cemented. It was already permanently cemented to my tooth. He did not use temporary cement, he used permanent cement from the very beginning. So I'm laying there like, this can't be happening. And I'm just trying to calm myself down, because this means that literally everything that has happened to me and all the pain I've been in has been for nothing, because the tooth was fine. The crown was permanent. I never needed to get it removed, which means I never needed to see the random fill-in dentist who adjusted my bite and caused me all the pain in the first place. I didn't need to see them at all, but he didn't remember that he permanently cemented it. So now he's splitting open what used to be a perfectly good crown. And here's the kicker, guys. He splits it open, and then he starts shaving off the cement on my tooth, like getting rid of, using the drill and like getting the old cement off. In the middle of that, he nips my tongue with the drill. Not kidding you. My tongue starts bleeding. I can tell because he puts gauze in, takes gauze out, doesn't acknowledge it, doesn't tell me anything that's going on. I can feel it because my tongue hurts, because my tongue wasn't numb. But he doesn't tell me anything. I just see bloody gauze, and I'm like, yeah, I know you nicked. Keep going. Can I just get out of here? And the whole time, I'm literally laying there like, please don't cry, please don't cry, please don't cry, because I'm not crying because it hurt. I'm crying because this is my actual nightmare coming true in real life. Like, this is my nightmare. Like, I was living my nightmare, and I was just so amazed at how badly this was done. So then after he splits the crown, he leaves me for like another 20 minutes with gauze in my mouth to just lay there. And then he comes back eventually, and he starts designing the crown that they're going to then mill the new crown in the office, and I'm going to get 30 minutes later, put on my tooth, and this whole nightmare is going to be over, and I never have to go back to this dentist. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, it's all going to be worth it. It's going to be over soon. It's going to be over soon. And he starts making the crown, and he's making noises like this. Oh, weird. And I'm like, oh, this can't possibly be good right now. This can't possibly be good. Meanwhile, my tooth is starting to get really sensitive because it was already sensitive, and he took the crown off, and now it's exposed to the air, and they've been blowing cold air and water on it, and it's just irked. My tooth is pissed, and the numbing is starting to go away because I've been there for 2.5 hours at this point. And he just says, I'm having problems. And I said, I just sat there for a second like I didn't hear that right. And then I finally look at him, and I said, oh, did you say you're having problems? And he was like, yeah. So your tooth is actually too small to mill this in-house, so we're going to have to send it to the lab. And then we'll make a temporary crown, and then you'll come back in 2 weeks to get it permanently cemented. And this was it, guys. This was it. It took everything in me not to completely fall apart in this dentist's office. I absolutely felt so sad, upset, disappointed, anxious, just so many different emotions. Anyway, so long story short, he puts a temporary crown on it, and I leave, and I get to my car, and I just start bawling. I cried, and I cried, and I cried, and I just couldn't believe that the nightmare wasn't over, and that, I still had to get this permanent crown. So now I have a temporary crown on this tooth that we've been working on for a year, but I'm not going back to that dentist. Tim called them and took care of it and got my records, and we're going to see someone else because just of the way that I've been treated there. But here's the deal. This was as close as I've ever come to my actual nightmare. Like, besides having somebody pass away, the loss of a loved one, my actual nightmare coming true, like in real life. And all I could think about was breathe, like, you're strong enough, you can get through this, you're gonna make it, it's all gonna be okay. And it took everything in me to not freak out. But I woke up today, and although I'm still disappointed and kind of sad and angry about the situation, I know that if I did all of that, and I'm still here, and I'm okay, and I'm alive, goodness gracious, I feel like I can handle anything. And it may sound so silly because it's the dentist, and I know that sounds kind of ridiculous because I know people don't like the dentist, but I can't, like, if you could see me at the dentist, like, everyone there is like, can we please give you nitrous? Like, you're very nervous. Like, you look so nervous. And I have the most irrational fear of the dentist. It's like half rational, half irrational, and I feel crazy at the dentist. Like, I do. I feel insane because of how much I hate it there. But I was there for 3 hours, and I made it through this. And so if you ever get in a situation like this, where your nightmare is coming true. Return to your breath. When you own your breath, nothing can steal your peace. And I literally repeated that to myself over and over and over again while I was in that chair yesterday. You will make it through. You will be better. You will be stronger. I now feel so much stronger. I mean, seriously, I feel like I just went through hell and back with the dentist. And I can take on any other dentist. I'm ready for it. Put me to work. I'm a DDS now. That's how I feel. But seriously, in all seriousness, I want to make this video to tell you guys I'm totally human. I have so many faults, so many fears. I'm not perfect, and I was in a situation where I literally didn't know if I was going to be okay. I was freaking out, and I made it through. And if that happens to you guys, I promise you can make it through too. And I hope that you remember that and that you just breathe through it, return to your breath, center yourself, tell yourself it's going to be okay, because it will. It really will be okay. And I hope that you've enjoyed this little bit of story time and that it wasn't too ranty for you guys and that it gave you a little bit of a positive message at the end. That's what I was going for. Anyway, I feel much better today. It puts it into perspective when you sleep on it and you wake up and you're like, man, I can't believe I made it through that. I don't know if I'll ever have another dental nightmare again. I mean, I feel like I lived it and now I can move forward, and maybe it's what I needed to do that and that's why it happened. But it's just so interesting to me. So I wanted to share that with you guys, a little insight into my personal life and personal fears and conquering them. So, but make sure to check your dentist, okay? Pick a good one. And make sure that if you feel like something's wrong, to ask for help or to tell them to stop or to have them explain it to you. That's okay. You have that right. Whenever you're the patient, the consumer, the client, you have that right. So own that right and get what you came there for, okay? And I love you guys, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to check out the group class stuff below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Mwah!